Talking Golf on Golf Effect Network is on the air. Talking Golf is brought to you by American Transmission Company, ATC, helping you keep the lights on, businesses running, and communities strong. American Family Insurance, insure carefully and dream fearlessly. Oak Park Place, offering senior living options for the lifestyle you deserve, with amenities and services for a carefree, independent way of life. And by the Princeton Club, a premier health club that combines state-of-the-art equipment with a highly trained staff and convenient locations. Now, here are your co-hosts of Talking Golf, Dennis Tiziani and Paul Brown.
Radio Network from Cherokee Country Club in Madison, along with Kevin Ryan, Dave McCann, Dennis Tiziani. I'm Paul Brown, and another show as we go statewide on the Golf Effect Radio Network on Talking Golf, and a big week in golf, Tiz. The U.S. Open is going to take place at Shinnecock Hills Golf Course. We'll be chatting about that. In fact, on our show tonight, one guest for sure, Gary D'Amato, who's a writer for the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel. He's at Shinnecock. In fact, he's already sent out an article with a picture of Steve Stricker, who's practicing right now with Tiger Woods, and Andy North is standing in the background. So
that's a pretty good group.
Yeah, it sure is. And also Dan Hicks, who's the lead commentator for NBC Sports and the Golf Channel, and his partner, Johnny Miller. They're the main guys on the telecast for the U.S. Open this weekend. Dan Hicks will be joining us at about 6:40 tonight, and we're going to chat with him about what goes on behind the scenes for television production of a U.S. Open golf tournament. Also on the program tonight, Steve, we will try to get him, but he's practicing with Tiger, so we may not be able to get Steve tonight. And Joe Stadler is going to be on the air. Joe is involved with the state PGA, and they're starting a special program for veterans. In fact, every other week on Tuesday, it's going to be held here at Odana Hills. But Tiz, let's talk about the U.S. Open for a couple of minutes. I understand this is the truth, I hear. You led a couple of U.S. Opens.
I did. Way back then, at 12 holes. I led in 12 holes, tied for the lead at 12 holes at Atlanta, and then proceeded to miss the cut by one after that. And
How'd
then
you
I was
do that?
Well, I made a double or a triple bogey at the 15th hole, which would be, coming in 33rd hole, and I bogeyed the last hole. And then that ended that. And then I was the first player out. I'll tell you where I was the first player out. I'm trying to think of it.
Was
at Southern Hills
in Oklahoma?
Southern Hills. I was the first player. I was the first group out. I don't know the exact first player, but I birdied that first hole. So really, technically, I was in the lead or tied for the lead for 2 U.S. Open, two out of 3.
You played at Winged Foot, too, didn't
I played
you?
at Winged Foot, too. Yeah, that was a special course. So many, it's the least amount of bunkers that has ever been in a big tournament like that. There was only like 12 or 15 bunkers in the whole 18 holes.
Was it a special time when you played in an Open? Is it unique playing in the national championship?
Well, it is. Yeah, it's special when they call your name to the first tee and they announce, some such and such state Open, and they announce your name and say, what the hell am I doing here? But, unfortunately for me, it came at a time when, at June, and the golf season is going strong. So I was working. So it was difficult. It would have been really nice to take the week or 2 weeks and go off and do that and get prepared. But I never did that, couldn't do that. But it's special. The players, the fans are different. They're not, the fans are different. It isn't like playing out in Arizona, where it's yelling and screaming and stuff. They're very, I think they're ticket holders or been people there for a long period of time, and they got the special people that they're watching also. And to have so many good players, from all over the world, the best in the world are there.
How's the game different in watching the U.S. Open from the days when you played to now? What's the big difference that you see?
Oh, I think the roughs are then were a lot longer, but the greens were a lot more playable. And you'll hear about this tournament at Shinnecock Hills. They aren't going to be able to play. By Sunday, it'll be the same problem. It's going to be hard to play them. They cut them so short, dry them out, and you can't get it. So it's going to be play it short off the tee in the fairway and long into the green. so that you'll be able to get it. Now, one thing they do is cut the fairways a lot shorter, so it's easier to spin the ball. I can remember playing with Hale Irwin, one of the tournaments there, and he was just upset because the fairways were so long. I said, long, man, they look like our greens here, And, so they're, the fairways will be firm to be able to spin the ball, but even still, it'll be a difficult thing.
Speaking of Hale Irwin, he's the oldest ever to win the U.S. Open. He did it at age 45. Ray Floyd won it at 43. Tom Kite and Payne Stewart won it when they were at 42. And Ben Hogan won it when he was at 40 years of age.
Well, Hogan special in all those cases there. I mean, I think, didn't he win the Open after the accident?
Yes.
So, here's a guy who couldn't walk there for a while. And I think what saved his life is he tried to save his wife's life and, bent over at the crash. And that's an interesting story about him. And I don't want to belabor that, but, you go on and on. He was in the room when his father shot himself.
No kidding.
Sure. His father committed suicide when he was maybe 5 or 8 years old. And his dad, I don't know if he left his job or something happened, but was upset at the dinner table, went into his room. The little boy, Ben, followed him, and his dad shot himself right in front of him.
When you talk about the U.S. Open Championship, it is the national championship here, golf's ultimate challenge, as the USGA calls it. And there's a guy from Madison, Wisconsin. His name is on that trophy twice. And, of course, we're talking about Andy North.
Yeah, that's unusual.
And that is a pretty special accomplishment when you think about it.
It's one of 15 people now that have
won it in 78 and 85.
But it's one of 15 people in the history of golf that have won that tournament twice in the history of golf. Now, he won 3 times. He won another tournament, Westchester, I think he won.
Yeah.
But he won 2 Opens. Think about that.
Something you can never take away from him.
No, and you know what's nice about it? He won his first Open in 1978. Is that correct?
Cherry Hills in Denver.
At Cherry Hills. 10 years earlier, he won the club championship at Cherokee Country Club.
No kidding.
That's right. He was the club champion here in 68. Won the Open in 78. His dad brought him here because of the length in this stuff, and this is where he played. But that's a little tidbit for you.
There, I learned something. Hopefully we'll learn more before this show's over. We'll be back after this time out on the Golf Effect Radio Network.
The American Family Championship features golf's living legends competing right here in Wisconsin. Take advantage of the Wild Rock American Family Championship package.
Joel, how you doing?
18 holes with GPS cart at Wild Rock, with lunch
cool.
and a Wild Rock hat, plus a ticket to the championship in Madison this June. Call or check out our website for availability, 608-253-4653, or wildrockgolf.com. That's wildrockgolf.com.
The PGA Tour champions are coming back to Madison. The 2018 American Family Insurance Championship Week is set for June 18th through the 24th at University Ridge. Tickets are available now at amfamchampionship.com/tickets. Be on the links when tournament host Steve Stricker tees it off. Proceeds from the AmFam Championship benefit the Steve Stricker American Family Insurance Foundation, the American Family Children's Hospital, and numerous local Madison charities. Don't miss out.
Hey, Dave, is that a 7-4?
amfamchampionship.com/tickets.
At Oak Park Place, they understand there are some loves that last a lifetime, like the love of the game, and they celebrate those things that make you uniquely you. Their community of friends, family, and caring staff provide support if you need it, while you enjoy your independence when you want it. Because they know that sharing memories of time well spent is just that, time well spent. Learn more about senior living at an Oak Park Place near
I got it.
Visit oakparkplace.com.
Dave, I have Gary. He says that he has, it's a bit loud where he is, so he may have trouble hearing you guys.
Automation and technology are keeping local businesses running.
Just a heads up.
You don't think twice about all that powers our everyday life. We count on the stable, reliable transmission of electricity. And that's what American Transmission Company is all about.
Whatever.
American Transmission Company, helping to keep the lights on, businesses running, and communities strong.
The critics are raving. It's the hottest reservation in the city, and people wait months for a table. And now, it's finally time to take your seat behind the wheel of the 2018 E-Class at your authorized Mercedes-Benz dealer. This is performance at its most tasteful. Refined power and Mercedes-Benz luxury with enough turbocharged torque to get you back in time for dessert. Visit MBUSA.com/eClass to learn more. Mercedes-Benz, the best or nothing.
More than 110,000 of your neighbors in Wisconsin are battling Alzheimer's disease. It's the only leading killer that has no real treatment and certainly has no prevention or cure. There's much to be done in the fight to end this devastating disease. Scientists at the University of Wisconsin, one of the top-ranked research institutions in the country, are working across the spectrum of this disease to discover the next breakthrough, and you can help. Join the UW as we partner with the Steve Stricker American Family Insurance Foundation, the American Family Insurance Championship, and the Golf Effect Radio Show to support research with Birdies to End Alzheimer's. Make your pledge today and join
All right, 15
us
seconds. Stand by.
through the 24th at University Ridge. 100% of the proceeds will go towards Alzheimer's research at the UW. Make your pledge now. Birdies to End ALZ.com.
W265 CV Madison.
And we're back at Cherokee Country Club in Madison, along with Dennis Tiziani. I'm Paul Brown, and riding on a bus somewhere out in New York in Southampton is Gary D'Amato of the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel. He's got quite a job, doesn't
I never
he,
seen nothing
He's
like
at the
it.
Olympics. He goes
yeah.
to the Masters.
He's
He
nice.
plays the golf course. Now he's out at Shinnecock.
Yeah,
and,
next to the ropes, next to Steve and the other big shot. Yeah, I mean, this guy's got it made.
I don't know what he's doing, though, riding. It's probably a media bus, and
Yeah.
he's among 4 or 5 guys trying to get back to the
maybe
hotel.
He's such a big shot. It's probably his bus, you know.
Gary, can you hear us? We're a little concerned about that.
Yeah, I can hear you guys. I don't know if you can hear me, though. It's pretty noisy on this bus. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you if you stay close to that phone. You already sent back a picture today, and you saw the Tiger Woods and Steve Stricker practicing together, and then Andy North is in the background. That was kind of an interesting shot you had there.
Yeah, they came out late in the day, and I saw Tiger and Steve warming up next to each other, and I figured, well, maybe they're going to go play. Sure enough, they went up back 9, and I followed them for a couple of holes. Both of them were hitting the ball well, and I kind of waited for them on 18, but they had to come up the 18th fairway and subsequently, so I was going to jump on it and maybe try to catch Steve tomorrow. I know Tiger's going to come in the interview room at 11 a.m. Eastern time tomorrow.
Gary, we're having trouble hearing you. Maybe you could try staying closer to your phone. If it doesn't work, we'll just let you go and that type of thing. You mentioned in an article that you wrote that a limited power player could potentially still win this tournament. Is that a factor? Can you explain what you were trying to say there?
Sure. Yeah. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, that's much better.
Way better.
Okay. Yeah. I think, in my opinion, and some of the guys people I've talked to, I think, the U.S. Open courses having grown to 74, 75, 7,700 yards. I think and the graduated rough, the deep rough doesn't approach right on the fairway. I think it sort of plays into the hands of the power players a little more now than it might have, certainly in Corey Pavin's day. Corey hit a forward into that green on the 18th hole in 1995, and you don't see too many guys hitting forwards in the greens on par 4s anymore. So I think it's harder for a guy who's not a power player to win this U.S. Open. But, I mean, you look at Zach Johnson, who's won a couple of majors, and obviously it still can be done.
Tiz, you mentioned that potentially somebody that doesn't necessarily hit it as long as others, but hits it straight, could be a factor this week.
Right, in this tournament, you're still going to – there's only two par fives,
right.
But there's 8 par fives. So, if you can birdie half the par fives and play the other ones in even, you're going to be in pretty good shape for that tournament. So it's not how you drive, it's how you arrive in that tournament. And that's going to be a factor as time goes on. Saturday and Sunday, they'll dry the greens out. There won't be too much water on them, and you'll have a lot of guys chipping from over the green.
Gary, I know it's early in the coverage. The tournament hasn't even begun yet, obviously. What impressions are you getting from the players and the people involved in the tournament as to what we should be looking for this weekend?
Yeah, Paul, I think, I wrote a column today for tomorrow's paper that, the USGA has taken the U.S. Open to some interesting courses the last few years. Chambers Bay and Erin Hills, some new faces that, weren't universally loved by people. I think they've returned to a tried and true U.S. Open venue. Shinnecock looks great. I think it's going to play really good. Phil Mickelson was in the interview room just extolling the virtues of the course, how it tests every bit of a player's physical and mental game. And so, and Phil predicted a good leaderboard, and I think there will be one. So I think it's going to be a fun week out here.
And you wrote an article recently about Steve Stricker and talking about his playing on a couple of tours, his age, and that kind of thing. What's your thoughts on Steve?
Well, like Dennis said, Steve is straight, and straight is always good in the U.S. Open. Steve can hit a lot of fairways. I like his chances to play well. I really do. I'm a great short game, and I think.
Yeah, and unfortunately, we lost Gary as that van continues to move in the New York area. So we'll just let Gary go. And it's a really pretty inconsistent there, Gary. Just give us some quick thoughts on the tournament, and then we'll let you go.
Sure. Okay. Hopefully you can hear me. I think it's, I think Shinnecock's going to be a great test. I think it's going to be a good leaderboard. A lot of the top players in the world are playing well. Obviously, Dustin winning last week. And, Tiger, I watched him play a few holes today. He looks like he's hitting the ball great. Hopefully Steve's a factor. And I think it's going to be a good week.
Thank you, Gary. And we'll be watching the tournament and reading your coverage in the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel. We appreciate you joining us on Talking Golf. That's Gary D'Amato out in New York. Tiz, let's talk a little bit about the course itself. They call it, they took out about 500 trees, first of all. You mentioned the par fives. There's only 2 of them in the course. They have 5 par fours that are longer than 485. In fact, 2 of them are more than 500 yards. They're calling it a penal setup where tee shots are going to be critical. The roughs are going to be tough to get out of. And if you make a double bogey, birdies are going to be rare there. Do you think that's a fair assessment?
I agree. There's no question. There's no guarantee once you get on the green, because the longer you play, the more defensive you're going to get in putting. It's not going to be an offensive show. So it's going to be a lot of lag putting. You'll see guys cutting that stroke a little bit short. But a little bit on that, the length of the course, these guys do hit it straight also. They're hitting a 3-wood 300, 290 to 300. So now they're going to have, 185 in. Well, they're hitting a 7-iron, 185. Yeah. So it's not going to be the worst case, but you need to get it in the fairway, and you need to play in the front of the hole, not behind the hole. That's how you're going to win there, is to play in front of the, just like, about that hockey doing that. You got to score from in front of the net, not from the side.
I'm reading some of the players' comments as they practice. I'll kind of summarize these for you and then get your reaction to them. Some of the players feel it's going to give them an opportunity to pitch and run the ball more on the green than they have in the past.
Right.
We'll be hitting different kind of shots around the green. Irons are going to be a key factor in this, and on some of those holes, they're going to be hitting 4, 5, and 6 irons. Think that's a fair assessment?
No question. But as I told you, the fairways will be cut a lot shorter than they're accustomed to doing. So they're going to be able to really put some spin on the ball, and they'll be able to do it, and they'll change their angle of inflection. The ball will be coming in a lot steeper than before. So high ball hitter would be pretty good. Tiger Woods, big advantage. I pick him as a contender here in this tournament. He will be, because that's the best that I've seen from a technical standpoint. That's the best that I've seen him swing since way back when.
They're talking a lot about the 7th hole. Obviously, back in 2004, that hole created a lot of conversation. Right. They had 20 birdies on that hole, and they had 120 bogeys, and they were showing it today on the Golf Channel. They say the landing area, it's about 180-yard hole.
There is no landing area.
They got about 8 yards in which to land the ball. Otherwise, in all probability, it's going to roll off the green. In fact, they showed one shot. I'm not sure exactly who the player was, but it hit about a foot from the pin, and yet it rolled off the back.
Well, that's the deal with it. I was telling you the story a little bit about this guy. He's a member here, Orv Eriksson. They came with me to the place in New York there, the golf course in New York. Anyway, that I played the Open at
Wingfoot?
Wingfoot, yeah. So they were on the stands. They were on the ropes, and I asked them, "Come on out here." No, we can't come out here because it says, "Come on out here." So they came out here, and I had them putt from the back of the green to the hole, and he putted it right out the green. He had no clue. He says, "There's no way that I would ever thought that this was this fast." But when you're running 13, 14, 15, no, it's like putting on the hood of your car. You know, I mean, it's totally a defense. So you got to leave the ball in the place you want to leave it. And you might be that way where you're putting for a lot of pars using a chip.
And wind could also be a factor, could it not, in here? Because there's a lot of elevation changes on that golf course.
Wind is going to be definitely a factor if it comes up. But, you know, they gave you an instant. This course, Erin Hills, the course out there in out west, you know, they're all links type courses. When you look at them, they're like links type courses. When are we going to play a course now maybe that favors an American player? Not to be controversial, but you know, I thought I'd throw it out there.
Seriously, with Steve at his age, by the way, he's made the cut in the 3 U.S. Opens, the last 3 that he played in. At his age of 51, playing the way he is, playing on both tours, taking this course into effect, the way he's playing right now, you see him more than anybody else. Realistically, what do you think?
Oh, he's got as good a chance as anybody to do that. But it's like 25 or 27 major championships in a row that he's made the cut.
That's a pretty good number.
Well, there's nobody that has. There's not even close to that where they've made it that way. And, you know, he can putt. He's got a great graphic mind. I mean, you know, there's times, I mean, I've seen him put, you know, caricatures together using matchsticks. I mean, he has one of those type of minds, creativity. So it's not only in chipping and putting. And if you play with him, you see one thing, he really always sees that thing and maybe another. So, you know, he's a special player.
Steve will tee off on Thursday at 1:36, and he's playing with Ernie Els and Jim Furyk. There's some other threesomes that are interesting. They put together a group of Rory McIlroy, Jordan Spieth, and Ricky Fowler. I'm sure a lot of people are going to be following that group. Also, Bubba Watson, Jason Day, and Brooks Koepka. 3 guys that can really hit the golf ball are playing there.
Yeah, long ball hitters. But so is this other group hits the ball pretty good too.
Rory along with Spieth and Fowler.
Steve playing with
Furyk and Els.
With Furyk is a great thing, and he and Els have been buddies for a long time. Els has, you know, another foundation where he works with his son, who has what is he? His son has
that I'm not sure.
Is one of those debilitating type diseases, and Ernie does a real good job with that. But we're playing with Furyk, because Furyk and he, you know, are buddies on these. In fact, he's an assistant captain of Furyk going around. But Jim kind of bunts it out there, you know.
Yeah, and one other group, Justin Thomas, along with Dustin Johnson and Tiger Woods, they're together as well. So there's. And Phil Mickelson made an interesting comment at his press conference. He said when he was asked what his thoughts were about Shinnecock and the U.S. Open, he goes, very simple. This year, they've taken the luck out of this. It's down now to skill. You think that's a pretty good assessment?
Well, it's pretty good. But, you know, he's kind of a closet genius. You know what I mean? And although he's
finished second a lot of times.
Well, that'll tell you the same thing, you know. I mean, you know, what are you doing? You know, but anyway, I think that luck is going to play a part in this, because I'm just telling you, the ball will be going faster at the hole than sometimes they can imagine. I can see it hitting the hole, going up. I can see, you know, a lot of things that happen, especially out of bunkers there. I can see a lot of people hitting it in the bunker on purpose. And going
they
ahead.
did that, and they showed Phil Mickelson from 2004 on the 7th hole.
Yeah.
He purposely hit it in the bunker, and they said it's a better play out of the bunker.
No question, he can control it, and you can't control it out of the bunker rather than the grass, because you can't hit. You know, you can't get to the ball. You know.
Well, we're going to take a break from talking about the U.S. Open for just one segment here, and then Dan Hicks will be joining us, and we'll go back to television coverage of the U.S. Open. And I wonder how many people are working this year. My guess would be probably 150 to 200 people, maybe behind the scenes.
So I shouldn't bring up that he's the great teeer upper for Johnny Miller, huh?
Well, I know how you feel about Johnny Miller, but he won't touch it if you go there.
He's a drag.
What I'd like to do is, he does impersonations of people.
Oh, yeah. You got to get him on that.
And he won't do it, but I'm going to bring it up again.
Yeah.
He can do Bob Costas, like it sounds like it's Bob Costas, but I understand the one that was really good. On his old answering machine, he used to have a message from Richard Nixon.
Oh, he did?
I'd love to have him.
Well, we'll have to get him to see. Maybe he will. He knows you well enough now. He might kind of let
We'll
you
be
in.
back right after this time out on the Golf Effect Radio Network.
The PGA Tour champions are coming back to Madison. The
All right, who am I calling here?
American Family Insurance Championship Week is set for June 18th through the 24th at University Ridge. Tickets are available now at amfamchampionship.com/tickets. Be on the links when tournament host Steve Stricker tees it off. Proceeds from the AmFam Championship benefit the Steve Stricker American Family Insurance Foundation, the American Family Children's Hospital, and numerous local Madison charities. Don't miss out. Get your tickets on amfamchampionship.com/tickets.
Hi, this is Dave Gary, and it's open house time at the Princeton Clubs. Come see what our clubs are all about. Try a class or just relax in our pools. Visit any of our clubs for free during our open house going on now. With more locations, more amenities, and more free classes, there's never been a better time to be a member of the Princeton Clubs. I think you'll be surprised how much better you'll feel just after a few visits. Plus, with our express locations all over the Madison area, you'll never be more than a few minutes away from your next workout. As a member,
Two is in
also
the
have
second
access to
commercial break light?
Country Club's outdoor pool to make the
Then
most
yes,
out
this
of
is
your
the second
summer.
commercial
So
break
come
light.
try the Princeton Clubs today. Get inspired and start feeling great again. We keep our clubs spotlessly clean, open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and with free childcare and no joining fees. And if you're ready to step up to the Princeton Clubs, we'll even buy out your current membership somewhere else. The Princeton Clubs, voted Madison's best health club year after year. Visit PrincetonClub.net for more details.
At Oak Park
Yeah,
Place,
we got 'em.
they understand there are some loves that last a lifetime, like the love of the game, and they celebrate those things that make you uniquely you. Their community of friends, family, and caring staff provide support if you need it, while you enjoy your independence when you want it. Because they know that sharing memories of time well spent is just that, time well spent. Learn more about senior living at an Oak Park Place near you. Visit oakparkplace.com.
The University of Wisconsin Golf Course, University Ridge, has been voted Best of Madison and is the proud host site of the PGA Tour Champions American Family Championship. Our course, designed by the world-renowned Robert Trent Jones Jr., is yours to play without a costly membership. The award-winning golf shop at University Ridge offers high-end Badger apparel you won't find anywhere else. And when you're off the course, enjoy excellent food and drink with friends at the W Grill. Play where the Badgers play, University Ridge.
Right now, Cherokee Country Club is offering outstanding introductory golf memberships. You can join Cherokee as an individual member for $2,400. Depending on your age, you can get a family membership that starts at only $2,900. Check it out for yourself. What you're going to find is the best deal in Madison when it comes to joining a golf club. And by the way, your membership also allows you to use all of the facilities at the Princeton Club and the Madison Club. If you're a business owner, Cherokee offers a voucher golf program that allows you to purchase 20 rounds of golf, good for 18 holes with a golf cart, for only $1,000. What a great way to entertain your clients, customers, or employees. Cherokee also offers memberships for swimming and indoor and outdoor tennis. And the public is welcome to use the driving range, restaurant, banquet facilities, or book a wedding there. For more information, call 249-1000 or visit the website at CherokeeCountryClub.net. Back on Talking Golf and the Golf Effect Radio Network from Cherokee Country Club in Madison, along with Dennis Tiziati. I'm Paul Brown, and joining us now is Joe Stadler, who's Executive Director of the PGA of Wisconsin. And Joe, you've got an additional program that you're going to be working with, including Odana Hills Golf Course here in Madison. It's a program involving the veterans. The first one is coming up on June 18th and is going to be held every other Tuesday. Why don't you fill us in on this event?
Yeah, Paul, I hate to tell you, but I told you Tuesday. It's every other Monday. So
you did. Yes, you did tell me Tuesday.
But PGA Hope, fairly new program across the country. It's in about its fifth year. We've been doing it 3 years in Milwaukee, and we thought it was time to bring it to Madison. We feel like we got the kinks worked out over here. But the program stands for Helping Our Patriots Everywhere. It's a free program for veterans, and it starts on the 18th, and it's a lesson program, golf lesson program, geared towards beginners, novices, some people that have played some, but not a ton. We have adaptive equipment if anybody has injuries or disabilities that we'll work with them on, and we're excited to get it going in Madison.
What are some of the kinks you worked out, and give us some of the highlights of an event when it's held?
Just how many instructors to have for how many students. It's a little bit of it's a good ratio. We're going to be 4-to-1 or 5-to-1, no more than that. So that was good. Just how long to do the lesson programs, different ways to work with people with different types of limitations. That's some of the learning curve. Some of the highlights, I think, are this year we're starting a league in Milwaukee. So in the third year, we're going to start a fall league where the people that went through the program can come out to one of the courses and play, once a week for like 4 or 5 weeks. So we're going to, keep them going, not just give them lessons, but get them on the golf course. If somebody makes at least 4 of the 7 sessions, they're going to quote unquote graduate, and they will be playing in a 2-person scramble, or maybe it'll be a 4-person scramble, depending on how it works out the last day, right at Odana. We're going to give them some range access for the weeks where they're not in the lesson program, so they can come on out and hit some balls in between lessons too. So that's kind of what we're looking to do.
Joe, what was the motivating factor in getting involved in this type of thing in terms of the PGA of Wisconsin? Why did they do this?
A big part of it is just to give back. Obviously, we have a lot of respect for the veterans in the country and the active military. The program has proven successful in other markets. For some veterans, it's a good way to get back in and join an activity that in some cases, maybe they were active golfers and then they got injured and thought maybe they could never play golf again. And all of a sudden they found out it's different, but they can still play golf again and keep playing and enjoying it and being outside and being with friends and meeting new people. And we just felt it was, like I'd said, time to expand the program. And assuming things go well in Madison, which I expect they will, we want to continue to go to at least 1 or 2 more markets in Wisconsin.
Joe, for people that are looking for information on this, where do they go?
The easiest place would be just to go to our website. It's wisconsin.pga.com. We'll have some stuff up there starting tomorrow. And that'll kind of tell them, it'll be a flyer that'll tell them the dates and times. It's 1:30 to 3:30. And then it'll also tell them how to sign up. And it's right on there. They're just going to email one of our staff people to register, and we'll fire it up next week, Monday.
Joe and Dennis, just one quick question for you guys before we let Joe go. You guys look into your crystal ball that 3, 4, 5 years down the road. What's the state of golf look like in Wisconsin in your mind? And how does the PGA help this? Start with Dennis.
Well, I'm hoping it grows, but it's going to be, until you cut down the volume or the supply of the courses, there's still the same amount of people playing golf. They're playing less. And that really is the problem. And as long as we continue to have these programs, if I had my druthers, we have many junior programs, so to speak. But, it's the seniors who are around to play golf. If that's where the population's going to be to play. And I like what he's doing here with the veterans. Oh, absolutely. Of going to those markets because, I guess there's 3 or 4 markets. Those who play all the time every day, those who play maybe 30 or 40 rounds. But the place that you'll grow the game is in the places where they play very little or not at all. That's where you're growing the game. And this is what I like about what he's doing here with this. He's playing with people who play very little or maybe not at all. That's where you're going to grow the game in that sector.
Joe, how are you looking at it from your perspective as executive director of the PGA of Wisconsin?
Well, I obviously agree with Dennis, which is pretty normal for me. But, he's right. You got to hit target populations that aren't hit. I mean, the female ladies in the world are a huge market. And that needs to grow. The face of golf needs to change. The stereotype that it's an older white person's game isn't as true as it used to be, but it's still somewhat true, unfortunately. The PGA is working on some programs to get more diversity in the workplace at golf courses, which I think will help. Programs like this, We could talk about it some other time, but our junior memberships are up over 12% this year. We're going to hit 1,200 kids in our program for the first time ever. So I think on the younger end, there is some growth going on right now. And there's some great programs helping on that side too. But to Dennis's point, that takes a long time to cultivate. There's some prime targets that are of age that can get out and play golf and pay for golf and things of that nature. Right. But I'm optimistic about it. I think we've come a ways in the last couple of years with quite a ways to still go.
Joe, what about the status of people that want to work in the golf industries and work at golf courses, be professionals and that type of thing? How would you describe where we're at in that area today?
I still believe that if people are good, there's a good place for them and they'll end up in a good spot. Most people, not everybody, but I think it's a great place to work. I think you have to have the right personality, the right skill set. I think you have to understand how to grow the game, which means you have to be able to teach the game. You could have all the great programs in the world if you want, but if you can't teach the person how to get the ball from A to B, they're not going to keep playing golf. So I think for the right people, it's a great fit and a great industry to be in.
Dennis, that is one thing to get more people to play golf. One of the keys is to get them to play better because they enjoy the game more.
But unfortunately today, it's just not today. Golf professionals, they can give you, there's two things that they can bring to the table. They can play and they can teach. You don't have to be a credit card guy. You don't have to be a haberdasherer, but the playing and the teaching, that's what bothers me a little bit the most of how that's kind of gone. I don't want to say downhill, but people who are behind the counter, it used to be the golf professional owned the pro shop. That was why he worked 70, 80 hours a week. Sometimes that doesn't happen anymore. Or he had parts of the golf cart, so he had parts of the revenue stream where he was an active part. And that's gone away, principally because the golf courses in general, not only in general, but a lot of them are quote struggling. Okay, they're getting a number of people. Private clubs are going to continue to have a problem. The public courses are gone so much. I mean, some of them you can't get on. So, you're kind of betwixt and between there. So, Joe is right in this. The good ones will make it. But it was not too long ago, and when I was involved 20, 30 years ago, where the not-so-good ones were doing pretty good too, and they really had a good portion of what's going on, and they were partners with the club. Doesn't exist today.
Joe, thank you very much for your time. Good luck with that program, and we'll have you back on to further talk about golf in the state of Wisconsin. We appreciate it. Joe Stadler, Executive Director of the PGA of Wisconsin. We'll be back on Talking Golf after this time out on the Golf Effect Radio Network.
We're not your electric company, but we help bring power to your community. We don't generate electricity, but our grid helps to energize your everyday life. We provide stable, reliable energy transmission from the energy sources to your home or business. We are American Transmission Company, the vital link between power production and
okay, what's the alternative?
American Transmission Company, helping to keep the lights on, businesses running, and communities strong.
Oh, okay.
At Oak Park Place, they understand there are some loves that last a lifetime, like the love of the game, and they celebrate those things that make you uniquely you. Their community of friends, family, and caring staff provide support if you need it, while you enjoy your independence when you want it. Because they know that sharing memories of time well spent is just that, time well spent. Learn more about senior living at an Oak Park Place near you. Visit oakparkplace.com.
The University of Wisconsin Golf Course, University Ridge, has been voted Best of Madison and is the proud host site of the PGA Tour Champions American Family Championship. Our course, designed by the world-renowned Robert Trent Jones Jr., is yours to play without a costly membership. The award-winning golf shop at University Ridge offers high-end Badger apparel you won't find anywhere else. And when you're off the course, enjoy excellent food and drink with friends at the W Grill. Play where the Badgers play, University Ridge.
The PGA Tour champions are coming back to Madison. The 2018 American Family Insurance Championship Week is set for June 18th through the 24th at University Ridge. Tickets are available now at amfamchampionship.com/tickets. Be on the links when tournament host Steve Stricker tees it off. Proceeds from the AmFam Championship benefit the Steve Stricker American Family Insurance Foundation, the American Family Children's Hospital, and numerous local Madison charities. Don't miss out. Get your tickets on amfamchampionship.com/tickets.
The mighty Blue Marlin. You've battled for 2 solid hours.
Calling him now, it's just ringing at the moment.
He's almost at the side of the boat. It's the moment of truth. Because there's never been a better time to test drive the 2018 Mercedes-Benz GLC. With a smooth 9-speed transmission, it loves to run. Set course for your authorized Mercedes-Benz dealer. Visit MBUSA.com/GLC.
Yeah, that's the number I'm calling.
Mercedes-Benz, the best.
It's just ringing and ringing. What we might end up doing is just having you guys start the segment, and then I'll call back.
For those with Alzheimer's disease will top $277 billion in 2018. Sadly, the dollar amount doesn't capture the incredible human toll of this devastating disease. Our only hope lies in research aimed at prevention and the treatment to reverse the illness. Scientists right here at the University of Wisconsin are leading the fight to end Alzheimer's disease, and they can succeed with your help. The UW is honored to partner with the Steve Stricker American Family Insurance Foundation, the American Family Insurance Championship, and the Golf Effect Radio Show to support this research with Birdies to End Alzheimer's.
Yep, I'll get in your ear and say got him.
Today and join us June 22nd through the 24th at University Ridge Golf Course. 100% of the proceeds
Coming back in 10.
will go towards Alzheimer's research at the UW. Pledge now. Birdies to End ALZ.com. On Talking Golf on the Golf Effect Radio Network. We're making contact right now with Dan Hicks. And Tiz, we got a minute to talk about this. And want to say a special thank you to the people that have made a contribution to the Birdies to End Alzheimer's. There's a number of people that have already done that. Obviously, the event is next week at the American Family Insurance Championship. But checking the totals today on the website, if you want to make a contribution, Birdies to End Alzheimer's, all you got to do is go type in Birdies to End ALZ.com. And you can make your pledge there. You can make a pledge based on just a dollar amount if you want, or make a pledge based on the amount of birdies in the tournament. That's the fun part of it. And checking the total a little bit earlier in the day, Tiz, we're over $30,000 already. I think that's pretty good, quite frankly, but yet the tournament is coming up. I know you thought there'd be a much bigger number.
And there will. There will be as a tournament. Even during the tournament, you get people going ahead and doing this all along who will get with the program and will get up. It's such a good thing. There's no downside to this thing. Every dime goes straight to University Hospital.
And it's all going to be used for research.
Absolutely.
100% of it.
And when you chat with them and when we chat with your friend Sanjay, too, was really impressive to me to see how close they were in identifying this chromosome, even so much so that they can do it pre-birth, which was, phenomenal as far as. So they've come a long ways. And I think the more that we can talk about it, the more that people get involved, because it is an issue and one that we're so happy that we can be a part of.
And again, if you'd like to participate, just go to the website. It's birdies2endalz.com. And the website will come up. It's a pretty impressive looking website put together by UW Hospital. And
how many birdies were there last year?
There was 878.
So you can figure about 1,000 birdies, huh? So if somebody bids a buck a birdie, they'd pay $1,000, or two bits of birdie be $250.
Yeah, I've seen pledges. I don't know the names, but I've seen pledges for a nickel. I've seen pledges for a dime. I've seen pledges for $1, and I've seen one as high as $2 and $5.
Right, a birdie
per birdie, and
and we're setting the pins.
I don't think that's going to work.
I
know you wanted to put them right in the middle of the green, but
in the middle, right on a flat spot.
So hopefully you'll participate in that, and to the people that already have, thank you very much. I just got a text that said, call me at this number, and it's Dan's number. So I think they're making that contact now.
Just got him.
Okay,
boy,
we got
good.
Dan. Dan's with us. Dan, welcome to the show. Dennis Tiziani and Paul Brown at this end. We appreciate you coming on, especially this week, because you're anchoring the coverage along with Johnny Miller for the coverage of the U.S. Open. Dan, thinking about your career, you were involved in the NBA. You were involved in the NFL. You did college football at Notre Dame. You've been in the Olympics and did coverage there. You've been a reporter, an anchor, and that kind of thing. Has the combination of all of those experiences or a sport like golf, how's it developed you the most in terms of, say, credibility, notoriety, and acceptability?
Well, first of all, good to be with you guys again. And I gotta come off the top and correct you. We're not doing the U.S. Open. Fox is doing the U.S. Open. So,
I am sorry.
We did the U.S. Open proudly
That's
for 20
right.
years, but we now do the British Open, or what we like to call now the Open Championship, which is great. But the U.S. Open will always have an incredible place in my heart because of all the years we did it. And Shinnecock this year is going to be fantastic. But to get to your question, it's a different gear golf is, and all these sports, I think, help you do your craft. I think they help you tell the stories, which is my main goal and my main purpose for being on any show. But I think that the more different textures of play-by-play you do, and the different gears that you have to go to, the better you become at getting to those gears, if that makes sense. So golf is a totally different gear than football, totally different gear than Olympics, totally different gear than any other sport. So they're all special, but you just have to immerse yourself in each of the sports, get on the air, do them, experience the moments that each of these sports offer. And it's just a kind of layer upon layer experience that kind of you hope you're able to enhance the final product.
Dan, certainly not suggesting I'm anywhere close to your level at all in terms of broadcasting, but when you broadcast an event in golf, for an example, my approach was I'm going to do the best that I can do, and that people have to accept. But the one thing that I don't think I ever shortchanged anybody on was doing your homework on whatever the particular broadcast that you're doing. What's your approach that you use on any event?
Well, any event is to be as prepared as you possibly can be, and that entails a lot of different things. With golf, which I do pretty much almost year-round, you have to keep up with the sport year-round. So it's a week-to-week, day-by-day, keeping up to date on the sport. So even if, let's say, NBC Golf and Golf Channel is not doing the PGA Tour for 2 or 3 weeks, I still have to stay tuned to what's happening, because we're going to be up in another week or so, and you've got to be up to date on what the sport has produced when you're off. So it never really ends, the preparation to any of it. But I would say with an event like the Olympics, it becomes, which is every 4 years, which is obviously different from anything else we do. But at the same time, it's got probably the most intense preparation leading up to it. I would say within a year of an Olympics, whether it's summer or winter, which to do both of, we start getting research and we start ramping up the preparation. So you're reading articles, you're reading research that we get provided to us by NBC and the incredible team of researchers that we have. And it's just, I mean, you can never do enough of it. So you can really fill your day up and your weeks up by doing the preparation. But I'm a huge proponent of it because I don't think you can shortchange the audience. I think the audience knows when they hear an announcer, if that a particular announcer has done his homework, his or her homework. I think they kind of get that. So you never want to shortchange the audience. So I spend hours and hours doing it, and I always feel more confident going in, and that's the main thing.
One of the key things, isn't it, too, Dan, is the contacts that you have and how you maintain those over the years and develop that information and that trust that they'll share with you, that background story that makes it an interesting feature or tidbit, so to speak, on the telecast?
No doubt about it. I just talked about, reading information from other people and other, really good writers and all the research that's available. But there's nothing that compares to, especially the week of or the day of that you're at the event, is talking to the players, talking to the athletes, and establishing that rapport with these people in a trustworthy way. So, for instance, a lot of golf tournaments we do, I'll interview the guys on Saturday night after their round, maybe 2 or 3 guys that are in contention, and we'll interview them for sound bites that we can roll in to the telecast on a final round Sunday, just to personalize these people and have the viewers get to know these people. But at the same time, I'll also talk with them. What part of your family is here? Who's here? How did you get started in this game? So a lot of that doesn't even end up as a soundbite on the air. I get information, and at the same time, I'll get a cell phone from these guys. I will call up an instructor of theirs the day of the time or the day that they're in contention. So it's a constant, you're constantly striving to get that gem or that tidbit that no one else has, or is basically new knowledge that you can impart to the viewers. So it makes it fun. That's part of the job that I love the most. That's really my job, is to personalize these people, to make you care about them, so you'll tune in.
How's very quickly, Dan? How's TV and the coverage that you're able to provide changed golf coverage, and what do you see in a crystal ball looking 3-4 years down the road?
How has it changed in the last few years?
Yeah, or how's it going to change in the future?
Oh,
the technology
in the future. Yeah, well, I think basically the biggest technology advancement that we've had in the last few years is the tracer. And I would guarantee your viewers would probably agree with me on that, as far as wanting more and more of that. So I think the Pro Tracer technology, the ability to put a graphic on the air and on your television screen, in this case illustrating the trajectory of the golf ball, is one of the best innovations in recent years. So that's one thing that's happened recently. And down the road, I think what we have to do a better job of in television golf is giving the audience a visual of elevation, undulation of greens, and more the real visual of what that golf course is all about. And I think that's going to be the real test in golf, is to improve on that as the years go on. And with technology improving, we're going to be able to do that. Even outside of graphics, I think we're going to be able to put television cameras in different positions with better television cameras to illustrate that, to give the viewer a better sense of what they're seeing.
And Dan, I know you won't do this for me, so Tiz is asking, we understand you do impersonations, and he always says no, but maybe we won't have you do an impersonation, but didn't you have an answering machine with the President Nixon message? Can you close it off by giving us the message?
I can see you've done your research, and you either Googled me or did a search on me, and that came up. And yes, I have had a little bit of a history of doing impersonations through the years.
Come on.
And it's a lot of fun. And if you ask the guys that work with me on NBC Golf, some of the best moments happen in the commercials.
I know that's
during the live shows that we do.
Okay, the phone. Okay, Dan, the phone just rang. What are you going to hear, real quick?
The phone just rang. Well, I've got nothing currently going out there for a voice message, but we did do President Clinton during the U.S. Open at Congressional back in 1997. And I was unaware that he was actually listening to me doing him during a commercial. So I was basically saying something like, well, this is a great championship. It's good to be here with the NBC Golf team. And I was doing that and had no idea that the president was actually listening to me. And that's when my producer, Tommy Roy, said, you might want to stop the impersonation because President Clinton is hearing every word you're saying. So there's been moments like that, fun stuff like that. But we got to have some levity, in between all these pressurized moments, right?
Dan, perfect. You bet. Thanks very much for being on the show. We appreciate it. Good luck with all the golf telecasts and the rest of your career. We appreciate it very much. We're back.
My pleasure, guys.
See ya.
Anytime, and I hope Steve Stricker had as impactful a performance as I did on the show tonight.
We'll be back after this timeout on the Golf Effect Radio Network.
Hi, this is Dave Gary, and it's open house time at the Princeton Clubs. Come see what our clubs are all about.
Man, that was good.
Class, or just relax in our pools. Visit any of our clubs for free during our open house going on now. With more locations, more amenities, and more free classes, there's never been a better time to be a member of the Princeton Clubs. I think you'll be surprised how much better you'll feel just after a few visits. Plus, with our express locations all over the Madison area, you'll never be more than a few minutes away from your next workout. As a member, you'll also have access to Cherokee Country Club's outdoor pool to make the most out of your summer. So come try the Princeton Clubs today. Get inspired and start feeling great again. We keep our clubs spotlessly clean.
To me, it looks like
a day, 7 days a week, and with free childcare and no joining fees.
58:20, which means that's right when I usually start playing the music. So I'm honestly, we're going to come back at 57 or 58:20. I'm just going to play the music for the full 50 seconds.
Visit PrincetonClub.net.
Yep. 5-0 max, but hard out.
There's that friend who always calls at the right time. A loyal companion, always ready to go. Here's something else you can count on: electricity. Just flip a switch and your life powers up. At American Transmission Company, we help make sure electricity is there when you need it. That's what we do. Deliver economical, reliable power for your everyday life. American Transmission Company, helping to keep the lights on, businesses running, and communities strong.
The PGA Tour champions are coming back to Madison. The 2018 American Family Insurance Championship Week is set for June 18th through the 24th at University Ridge. Tickets are available now at amfamchampionship.com/tickets. Be on the links when tournament host Steve Stricker tees it off. Proceeds from the AmFam Championship benefit the Steve Stricker American Family Insurance Foundation, the American Family Children's Hospital, and numerous local Madison charities. Don't miss out. Get your tickets on amfamchampionship.com/tickets.
Right now, Cherokee Country Club is offering outstanding introductory golf memberships. You can join Cherokee as an individual member for $2,400. Depending on your age, you can get a family membership that starts at only $2,900. Check it out for yourself. What you're going to find is the best deal in Madison when it comes to joining a golf club. And by the way, your membership also allows you to use all of the facilities at the Princeton Club and the Madison Club. If you're a business owner, Cherokee offers a voucher golf program that allows you to purchase 20 rounds of golf, good for 18 holes with a golf cart, for only $1,000. What a great way to entertain your clients, customers, or employees. Cherokee also offers memberships for swimming and indoor and outdoor tennis. And the public is welcome to use the driving range, restaurant, banquet facilities, or book a wedding there. For more information, call 249-1000 or visit the website at CherokeeCountryClub.net.
The American Family Championship.
That's like the super private living area. That's
right
here in Wisconsin.
Take advantage of the Wild Rock American Family Championship package, which includes 18 holes with GPS cart at Wild Rock, with lunch and a Wild Rock hat, plus a ticket to the championship in Madison this June. Call or check out
10
our website.
10 seconds here. Stand by. Remember, 50 max
253
seconds here.
4653 or wildrockgolf.com. That's wildrockgolf.com.
We're back on Talking Golf with Dennis Tiziani. I'm Paul Brown. You got to go quick. You got 30 seconds to tell your Hicks story.
It's with Dan Hicks. You know, I'm at home and watching television, watching the tournament in LA. Steve is in the lead. Hicks doesn't know what's going on. He's starting to hook the ball, so he's texting me. While he's texting me, my wife walks downstairs. Who you texting? I said, him. So I'm texting Hicks about what's going on with Steve's driver while he's telling the world about it. That's my story.
And you're going to stick to it. Thank you for joining us on the Golf Effect Radio Network, along with Kevin Ryan, Dave McCann, Dennis Tiziani. I'm Paul Brown, and another round of golf is done for now. We'll be back next week, same time, to do it again in the Steve Stricker AmFam tournament next weekend. That's it from Madison.
Thank you for tuning in to Talking Golf on the Golf Effect Network. Talking Golf has been brought to you by American Transmission Company, ATC, helping you keep the lights on, businesses running, and communities strong. American Family Insurance. Insure carefully and dream fearlessly. Oak Park Place, offering senior living options for the lifestyle you deserve with amenities and